There is an old quarantine station on Torrens Island at the mouth of Adelaide's Port River. It sat there, unloved and unused, for half 100 years, but once it was quite a sight. Thousands of people called it home. It was built about 1850, when a sailing ship carried an infectious disease. Smallpox was a particular dread. Passengers would disembark and live at the station, isolated from the rest of Adelaide, for months, until they were clear, or sometimes until they were dead. There's still an old cemetery on the island with a dozen forgotten graves. Other colonial capitals had quarantine stations too. The ones in Sydney and Melbourne are premier tourist attractions now, part of Australian history. They run as national parks. They draw hundreds of thousands of visitors. So what does Adelaide do? Our link with the past is behind locked gates. Instead of promoting tourism, the state government does nothing to preserve the heritage value of this unique site. The only visitors are vandals. 2 years ago, we broke the story that the state government was secretly beginning plans to carve up this public asset for private profit. The scandal continues. We can now reveal that the Treasurer, Kevin Foley, has apparently, and without public announcement, been negotiating with Maritime Constructions and other commercial parties for access to the land. One proposal involves destroying 150 metres of pristine grey mangroves, a fish nursery, the removal of a heritage-listed jetty where passengers once disembarked, and the destruction of tidal, low and mid-marsh zones in front of the quarantine station. The area is a refuge for birds like the banded stilt, Australian white duck, the sooty oyster catcher. It is even possible that the island may be used as the dumping ground for contaminated soil being dug out of the rail yards for the new Adelaide Hospital. Independent MP Anne Bressington, one of the few parliamentarians who is familiar with the island, is hosting a public meeting at Parliament next Tuesday to help preserve this fascinating part of South Australia's history. The Nature Conservation Society will be there, and the Australian Marine Wildlife Rescue Organisation. Perhaps you should be there too.